Hey, what's up? Welcome to DGen Ed. That's degenerative education, meaning none of this is financial advice. Just me having fun looking at charts like the chart behind me, which is of Plug Power, ticker symbol PLUG. And so here I am recording this on Saturday, October 19th, after Plug closed on the 18th, closing the week out at a price of $2.24, being up nearly 10% on the day. As you can see, there is this massive green candle here. And so, I've been wanting to do a video on Plug the past few days. I just haven't had time with work. And also because it's just been really boring. And, that is really like the best time to be accumulating. That is the best time to be buying the dip and whatnot. But, as far as YouTube videos go, they don't really take off. If something's boring, nobody wants to watch it. And so, I thought, well, I'll at least wait until the weekend. Unfortunately, we saw that exciting move. Things are looking exciting in the chart again. However, we did move up to this purple downtrend, that might be some resistance. So we might be seeing some more boring price action over the next week, just like we saw over this past week. On Friday, the 11th, we saw an upside move of 7.61%. And then following that, just boring consolidation. And so that was effectively a bull flag, and we have now broken higher than that. And so I could see maybe we get a retest of like $2.12, pulling back to those wick highs that we saw over the course of the past week. But really, I could see price consolidating right around where it's at, maybe pulling back to like 217, 216, just being approximate there, consolidating here before we see a breakout of this purple downtrend. And so before I talk about, levels to the upside or what I see in the chart, bigger picture, I just wanted to go over a couple of levels to the downside. So I do have this Fibonacci retracement here going from the low of $1.60 that was hit on September 6th, going up to the high that we recently hit on September 30th. That was at a price of $2.30. I think that we will be eclipsing that in the next week or two. Maybe not the next week, because maybe we're going to see some boring price action, retail getting fatigued, not wanting to hold on for the rip, and we do get rejected before we start to really see the moves to the upside. And so I cleaned up all of these levels on this Fibonacci, but I just have this one here at $1.95 because for me personally, that stood out to me. I had a buy order at 186. That level has served me well, as that was the low in the pre-market when they reported earnings back here on August 8th. That has been a nice dip buying level, but I think we may not be retracing to that level. So for me, I moved my buy up from 186 to $2 because I think, maybe we do get a retest of that. But ultimately, I don't really see that, as we are putting in higher lows. If, I just draw a trend line from, the low here at 160, and, look at that. We kind of pulled back to that before we got a bounce. And also this pattern here, it's a little bit slanted, but it does look like a rising three methods, or here, I guess this would be a rising four methods, where you have a big green candle. A rising three methods would be a pullback of three smaller red candles. Here we have four, before you get a bullish engulfing candle that kind of engulfs all of that prior price action. We've actually seen a much stronger rising three methods here, effectively a rising four methods, and then moving up to this level of resistance. So like I said, I think we could be consolidating around current price, but I think this is looking really, really good. And what I've seen in patterns that look like inverse head and shoulders patterns, if you look at some of my older Aquesttive Therapeutics videos, I made videos on an inverse head and shoulder pattern, but it bored me out of it. And so I kind of stopped making videos on it. They weren't that popular, and I was just bored by it. But if I would have held on to that position, it's more than 2x. And so right now what we're seeing is this inverse head and shoulders pattern play out in this just being like, hey, let's bore retail out of their positions before this really starts to take off. And, price targets that I see for this, I have gone over right around $3 a share. Here we do have a gap that has not yet been filled. That is at $2.92. We did have this gap down here at 232, but that has since been filled, so I'm actually going to delete that. This other level here that might be some resistance, that's at 261. That was the high following this gap down. That was prior resistance. We couldn't get back above that, but since there wasn't too much traded here, there is a gap there. I think we could be blowing past 261, getting up to $3 a share, ideally consolidating there before the next move higher, which could be bringing us to, 350, or maybe getting back to, around $5 a share. The high that was hit on May 14th of 2024 was $4.90. So, if we're going up to $3 a share, I'd look for maybe rejection if we do get beyond that. Around the highs here from July 16th, we hit a high of 334, so maybe getting up to around 350 before pulling back, and then maybe retesting $3 as support before going up to maybe $5 a share. There isn't really that much price action between 334, which was the high on July 16th, before getting up to $5 a share. But if we do scroll back, we do have some price action here. So maybe we see some resistance around 420. The cursor just happened to pop up around there, but it does seem like it corresponds with some wick highs here. 420 also being a fun number. So let's have fun with the charts. And I think that even if it's boring, we are looking at the beginning of a breakout. And I think that maybe by the end of October, if not, I think in November, we will be seeing right around $3 a share. So that personally is what I am looking forward to. I am excited about that. And before I do close out the video, I always forget to talk about this stuff down here. The MACD does look like it just flipped green. So I would look for that to continue. The RSI was back here on September 6th when we hit this low of $1.60. The RSI was below 30. We have since trended higher, but then pulled back a little bit. And I think that we are, going to be going up to around 70, getting, to be in the overbought territory, which means that plug power is probably going to be going higher, especially because we have this increase in volume backing this move of this bullish pattern, getting to this key level of resistance that I think we will be breaking out from, if not this coming week, if not before October 25th. I think at the beginning of November, we will be seeing price action above $2.30. And I think that we'll be finding these levels as support rather than resistance. So I'm really looking forward to it. I hope you guys are too. But as always, those are just my thoughts. If you found them helpful, make sure you like the video, share your thoughts in the comments down below, and make sure you subscribe to the channel for more content like this. Thanks a lot for watching and have a great weekend. Take care, you guys.